Information. Goat versus fish is for your information. For your information, it is goat versus fish. When the goat and fish versus, the goat are in formation. The fish are in formation. And the verses of the congregation of the goat and fish are always in formation. Our verses forming out of what? Not out of what? For what is a false question? This may be news to you, but the one question true is, are you goat or are you fish? This Goat versus Fish morning motivation, Goat versus Fish, will give you some information. Some musication, some celebration, and of course motivation for the congregation. And on this, the 29th morning motivational of Goat versus Fish, the first verses of information is: we started the stream on time. Goat versus Fish and Sunshine started the stream on time. It's time for Goat versus Fish. It's time for Goat versus Fish. It's time for Goat versus Fish. We begin this versus still on the fence, but perhaps with some information we can navigation these fence times and bring in a new era of Goat versus Fish. And now, without further offense, Goat versus Fish. Fish sees you out there. We see you out there. You see Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish sees each and every one of you. Guitar down ever so slightly, ever so slightly. Just ever so slightly. Just ever so slightly. Goat versus Fish sees you out there. Even if you are watching this versus after it was already live, Goat versus Fish still sees you as you watch now. Back from the past, Goat versus Fish sees you to ask, are you goat or are you fish? Goat versus Fish is always live in our hearts and minds, and for fence sitters to get off their behinds. Goat vs. Fish is live. So that you may thrive with Goat vs. Fish. The news and information is about to begin, but first, a check-in with our congregation. This year is the VIP Wow Mom. However, the VIP, the sacred position, is now open once again. One final celebration for VIP Wow Mom, as sponsored by I Can Fix Amber Heard. Now in the VIP, this fence creature. The VIP seat has now been infestation by a horrible fence creature. This just in, the VIP chair of Goat vs. Fish in Goat vs. Fish studio has been infested by a giant tentacled fence creature. The giant tentacled fence creature is ransoming the VIP chair once again for 100 versus American dollars. For 100 versus American dollars, you too can get a poster board of yourself in the VIP chair. Or you can sponsor someone else. But for now, a horrible and disgusting fence creature. Thank you to Rafilm, who says, I stan Goat vs. Fish. Checking in with our congregation on Twitch, our Twitch congregation, I Can Fix Amber Heard says, Big Fence Monster, Lysergic Freak Fish says, corporate messaging. Weed Pipe says, celebration, that could be fish. Bowser Big Mean Burrito, welcome the verses. Well, Mom says, I am Goat, celebration for Goat, celebration for Goat. I Can Fix Amber Heard at Does Goat vs. Fish sleep with the shoes you do overnight and the prep time you have, lol? Yes, the immaculate footwear of Goat vs. Fish is a subject of much conversation, though we have never heard it referred to in respect to the sleep of Goat vs. Fish. Here's what we can tell you about the sleep of Goat vs. Fish. You see Goat vs. Fish on your live streams. You witness Goat vs. Fish in your shows. The streams end. And then there is what we call the rest of Goat vs. Fish. There's always more Goat vs. Fish. So there's the Goat vs. Fish that you have. There's the Goat vs. Fish you consume. And then there's the rest of Goat vs. Fish. Hey, Sunshine.
Hello.
How was your rest of Goat vs. Fish?
My rest of Goat vs. Fish was very good. It was absolute restoratory versus.
Celebration for restoration.
Yay! Restoration.
How was your restoration, congregation? How was your restoration? We're just getting a bit of conversation with the congregation before we get to the information. A conversation about restoration. But here's some new information. Here is some new information from Goat vs. Fish. Sunshine has some kind of new axe to grind with Goat vs. Fish. This just in. Sunshine has a new axe to grind. Let's take a look. It's a new axe to grind. Welcome, this is our musication maker, It's Sunshine, wearing Wow Mom's Horn of Goat, and we've got a new axe to grind. Why don't you tell us a bit about this axe?
Yeah, so this is a Kiesel M6. It was made for Tim Miller. It's a signature model. It's a semi-hollow body guitar, so this part is hollow. And there's a hole right in here where I keep all my verses when I'm not unifying. And this is all solid body right here. Yeah. And he... I put Stratocaster knobs in here, just because I like numbers, and I put like laser lumitone death buckers over here, and these are like the lightest pickups, so this feels like a feather. It's comfortable. It sits up straight, so I can play for hours on end, and it's like the easiest playing guitar I've played in a while. Yeah, laser lumitones are like fantastic.
Oh, but what's this? Oh no! Your headstock is broken! Oh no, Sunshine, your guitar is broken!
Well, fear not. The headstock has been removed to keep the weight exceptionally low, which is why I tune using this over here. These tuners at the bottom.
Oh, there's a little place where you can grip it too.
Yeah, you can grip it here, or it's more like it gives you space under, so you're not hitting wood as soon as you tune it. Some guitars, this is next to the wood, and you like squeeze your tiny fingers in here. So this gives you space to like get your hand in there and like turn the knobs, and that's what this hole facilitates. Yeah. And it's, full-on verses, exactly. Like, I keep this, I can play this for like 10 hours straight, as opposed to, even though I don't get a better strap, because this, along with my tunic, it keeps falling down, so I had to get a better strap.
Hey, it's a big, dangerous verses out there. You're going to need your strap.
Yeah, I need to have my strap on.
Tell us about these 3 plated things. You said they are quite light, but you were mentioning that they don't make as much noise?
Yeah.
What was this? How could you expect to make musication if they're not making as much noise? What is this that you meant to Goat vs. Fish?
Usually, single coil and humbuckers, even P90s, will have coiled up copper wire around the thing, which is where it captures the sound and converts it into like electrical energy. This one just has one copper wire.
Just one.
One copper wire. And it's going through a transformer, which amplifies the sound. So it takes away the noise. It removes it almost completely. So even if I were to like keep it like this, you wouldn't hear anything. And even Goat vs. Fish will tell you he doesn't hear anything. I mean, that's a small hum, but that's from like the amplification for the musications. But all in all, this has been a very light guitar, and like Amber Heard said, you can see this guitar on my solo live streams. This is what I usually play on my solo live streams, when I just sit and I'm just like exploring colors.
And in what millennium would you suppose this was manufactured?
Oh, this was manufactured, I put the order in on September, and they finished it like in December. And
Oh, so this is a new versus, a truly new versus?
truly new versus.
Wow.
So it has a mahogany body and neck, and it has a quad top.
Well, why don't you show us what it does? Let's listen to a little musicications before we get into the occasionally horrific informations about the universe. Let's hear some musicications and we'll give Sunshine a shout out. This is your morning motivation, so enjoy your caffeination, enjoy your hydration, enjoy your relaxation. Some of you are just going into work now. You've got a lot going on, so have some relaxation with a little sunshine. Let's welcome little sunshine into our verses. Isn't that just lovely? Oh, my verses. What has happened? What has happened? The fence, did it get all fenced up? Got all fenced up there for our verses. GoatVsFish, the fence still remains. Nags1, thank you for following GoatVsFish. You're on GoatVsFish. Pitiably, we are still trapped in the fence times, and as things remain fancy, more fence sitters are infestation the studio. We can see some of them there now. And here comes another one. Here comes another one. Do a barrel roll. fence sitter has landed. Repeat, the fence sitter has landed. And what's this? Is it goat or fish? Hide your uncles, hide your aunts. They're about to get eaten. Goat and fish, the longer the fence times remain, the more infestation we will find on the fence. Sunshine, don't you think it's getting a bit crowded in the studio here? We've got fence sitters everywhere. Can we really accommodate all of this?
The fence sitters are also starting to smell like they don't shower.
Oh, my verses. Especially you.
They don't wipe either.
Oh, my verses. They don't have respect for the culture of goat versus fish. On the fence like that. How can we maintain goat versus fish with this invasion of fence creatures? Goat and fish, as we begin news and information still, we give you the state of the verses. This is the state of the verses. Take it away, Stonks. Hi everyone, it's me, Stonks, and I'm here to give you some information about the state of the verses. We are currently in some fence times. The fence times are continuing as goat versus fish spirals ever into a downward trend that just shows no end, When will the verses rebound? And will it be thanks to upward trends in goat or in fish? The verses remains to be determined. The fence has been funded by Big Fence to the tune of 120 verse American dollars, and goat and fish are just looking to compete, looking for any way to blub and any way to bleat. We've got a score of 2,760 for fish, 2,670 for goat. It's quite a close versus, and 920 for the sake of unification. Now, if the fish or the goat can get up to 12,000 points, then they can overtake the fence. Or if by some combination of goat, fish, and unification, the goat and fish can achieve unification, that too can end these fence times. Remember, goat versus fish is always going to be here for you to watch freely. You don't have to worry about that. But if we want that fence out of here, it is going to take some strong verses from the goat and fish. It may seem like fence times ahead, but goat and fish, if we put our verses together, we can get through these fence times. This has been the Versus Report by Stonks. That's the information. Raffilm on YouTube says, I'm screaming. Ah! Thank you for loving Goat versus Fish. Eventually Gold, that says thanks, Stonks. Eventually Gold, welcome back to the congregation. Eventually Gold, welcome to the congregation always. We sent you a little verses on the Patreon. We hope you're doing well. We know the times are fancy, but we always appreciate your presence in the congregation. Eventually Gold, welcome back to Goat vs. Fish. Welcome back to Goat vs. Fish. How much more to take out fence? Asks, I can fix Amber Heard 60? Goat vs. Fish. 60 would. 60 would. If 60 was given in the name of unification or to goat or to fish, it would create the potential for the fence to be overcome. Now, if goat or fish get 120 themselves all alone, then they can, with one versus, triumph and claim all the glory for goat or fish. Or if unification itself has 120. If there must be a combination of unification between goat and fish all sharing in the verses, then it will go to a poll. And in that poll, there will be a vote to determine, the congregation will determine, will the goat and fish form a unification, or will the fish or the goat attempt to prevention the unification because they seek the glory for themselves, because they would never form a unification with one another, even to take down the fence, just to spite one another, and then the fence keeps going. It all depends on the congregation and what the particular political aims are of the goat and the fish. But it is true that with another 60 versus American dollars towards unification, towards goat or towards fish, it would create enough potential verses to take down Big Fence. It's true. It's true. Nags1 says, I unfollowed, sorry, how do I rejoin the best stream, which is obviously GOAT? It says you followed GOAT vs. Fish 9 minutes ago. If it says you unfollowed GOAT vs. Fish, then we think you can just click to follow again. But Morgan says unification! This is unification. And GOAT and Fish. A celebration indeed. But it's time to get into some information. And the first information we are going to ask on the congregation is, are you goat or are you fish? Yes, we're getting to the news, but we would not start the verses of the morning motivation without asking, are you goat or are you fish? And while you are answering, are you goat or fish? Let us not, goat and fish, fill our minds with all kinds of information when we haven't even done our morning celebrations. It's time for the morning celebrations. Let's move about, goat and fish. Got to move about. Start your verses. Like searching freak fish declares fish. Celebration for fish. Goat versus fish is feeling like we could achieve unification this verses.
Eventually gold contribution $30 towards tearing down fence and of course the GVF show.
That's 30. That's a big 30 versus American dollars. 30 hits. Tens, 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s, 19s, 20s, 21s, 22s, 23s, 24s, 25s, 26s, 27s, 8s, 9s, 30! Big verses from Eventually Gold! 30 big verses! 30 big verses. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. 30 huge verses to take down the fence. And because they were not put in the name of goat or fish, we're going to put that 30 in the name of unification. A big versus, a huge versus. This just in. Financial disclosure forms has revealed that there's a new backer for unification. And it's Eventually Gold. With 30 versus American dollars to take down Big Fence. and in honor of your 30 verses, Goat vs. Fish is going to do 30 morning motivations of celebration. A big 3-0, Goat and Fish. You help the Goat vs. Fish streams get stronger. Goat vs. Fish is going to get strong with 30 morning motivations. You just do as many as you can. And if you wanted to do 10 and that was your plan, then by all verses. But when you empower Goat vs. Fish, Goat vs. Fish will receive your power and give it back to you. It's time for 30 morning celebrations from Goat vs. Fish, brought to you by Eventually Gold. Celebration 1. Celebration 2. Celebration 3. Celebration 4. Celebration 5. Celebration 6. Celebration 7. Celebration 8. Celebration 9. Celebration 10. A brief rest of Goat vs. Fish. A brief rest of Goat vs. Fish. I was thinking of investing in gold myself. Eventually. And Celebration 11. Celebration 12. Celebration 13. Celebration 14. Celebration 15. Celebration 16. Celebration 17. Celebration 18. Celebration 19. A brief rest of Goat vs. Fish. You got this, Sunshine?
Yeah.
Celebration 21. Celebration 22. Celebration 23. Celebration 24. Celebration 25. Celebration 26. Celebration 27. Celebration 28. Celebration 29 and the big final verses. Celebration 30. Breathe in that verses, Goat and Fish. Breathe in. The information can be very stressful, can't it? Can't it, Sunshine?
Yeah. Especially when the squats push my volume up on my monitoring.
It happens to Goat vs. Fish, but for
Yeah.
Goat vs. Fish, it's the reverses. For Goat vs. Fish, it turns the monitoring down for Goat vs. Fish.
That's where you get soft, quiet, and you get louder.
Sometimes, Goat and Fish, you want to get up, you want to look at the information, but the universe out there can be so fancy. You do anything to avoid that information. And as long as you are taking care of yourselves, Goat and Fish, a little avoidance of that information, why, we could even cause it for some celebration. Goat and Fish, what say we avoid the information for just one more verses, because there's something that we haven't done for a while. That breathing was reminding Goat vs. Fish. We have not had a meditation on Goat vs. Fish for several verses. Let's do a little meditation with Goat vs. Fish.
Meditation is good for your chakras. It brings about extra points in your Amazon Prime subscription.
Wow, that invisible keyboard is a real nice place to put stuff.
I don't know how best to describe this, but this is a goatfish. So I pick harmony. We are enchanted by the kissing. But it's a fish. But it's called a goat.
Which one will you be? Do you be goat or a fish? 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 Because the goats do be goat and the fish do be fish. Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fish.
Incredible.
Goat and Fish, it's time to get into the news. It's time to get into the news with Goat versus Fish. Oh, Goat versus Fish. Goat and Fish. Start off keeping it light. Start off keeping it light. But nevertheless, very critical verses. We start off light, but with a nevertheless critical verses. Fire department called to rescue a stubborn goat who climbed the roof and refused to come down. Make some noise for the goat. Make some noise for the goat. The goat is on the roof again. It climbed as goats are known to do. But what was that goat doing up there? That's the real story of Goat versus Fish. Positive vibes posts. Most fire department calls are for cats in trees, but cats are fence sitters and trees are they even goat or fish? But this crew arrived to find a much funnier problem. A mischievous white goat had somehow managed to climb onto the roof of a suburban house and was happily grazing on the moss, refusing to come down. Somehow managed to climb onto the roof? Somehow? It seems rather obvious to Goat versus Fish. Goats love to climb. Of course, the goat just climbed onto the roof by its own volition. Doesn't that seem like the most obvious verses? You are a goat. Are you still a goat, Sunshine? Are you Goat or Fish?
Oh yes, I'm a paid goat member.
Celebration for goat. Even a paid goat is still a goat. So how do you suppose? They say somehow this goat ended up on this roof. If you are a goat, how would you get on this roof?
This goat is looking for surveillance. It's a surveillance goat. It's seeing the fish and deciding which of the fish it wishes to dominate.
Ah, so it's like a scout surveillance goat surveying all of the land and all of the seas, all that it can perceive. That's an interesting versus. Goat versus Fish thought that perhaps the fish were on the roof, that the goat was going onto the roof to versus roof fish. But you say that it is surveying fish from afar.
Yes, it's surveilling fish from afar, and it's going to go back to its goat comrades to relay the information back to them.
After it's finished eating the moss, of course.
Yes, first it eats the moss, and the moss tells it where the fish is.
He looked down, they're referring to the goat, at his owners with pure defiance. The firefighters had to set up ladders, also known as sideways fences, and coax the stubborn climber down safely. It seems he just wanted a better view of the neighborhood. That's what you were saying, Sunshine.
Ooh.
I need glass of water. Just followed Goat versus Fish. Appreciation for following Goat versus Fish. Can't you see that goat? Can't you see that goat looking down at the ladder and just saying, look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power? Those fence sitters that haven't chosen goat or fish, they need things like ladders to climb, but goat don't need these fences, do they, Sunshine?
No, they don't need ladders. The house itself is a ladder.
The whole thing is a ladder, a way to climb.
Yeah, the house is a ladder, and since it had no more ladder, it just stood on the roof and decided to surveil for fish.
And GoatVsFish has left a comment here that says Goat is looking for fish on the roof. Now, this could be open for interpretation. This could be that Goat is surveying the neighborhood for fish, or that Goat is looking actively on the roof for the fish. Probably if you were a trained surveillance goat, the first thing you would do once you acquire a new position would be to see if there are any fish there in your position, and then once you are clear of fish, then you would survey the rest of the neighborhood for fish. But then these firefighters came to take the goat down. Is this fence sitters trying to get the goat down, or are the firefighters, given that they have hydration at their disposal, are they working for the fish, trying to get the goat to leave its surveillance position? Are the firefighters versusing for goat? Are they versusing for fish? Are they on the fence? More versus as it develops. This has been a News of Goat. This has been a News of Goat. Tyrus with 200 bits. Tyrus with 25 bits of a fish blub. That is 225 for the fish. Get one for Bryce Douglas Stevens, the catfish. Lysergic freak fish. The Uncle Bo, are you goat or fish? Raffilm, are you goat or are you fish? Bud Morgan, are you goat or are you fish? Appreciation Tyrus for your contribution. The news on Goat versus Fish continues. Let us prepare our next information. Oh, my versus. It happened again on Goat versus Fish. This is so strange. Copy that versus. You go to this place. Very strange to Goat versus Fish. Sometimes on the Instagram, it verses on the phone of Goat versus Fish, but then when we go to here, oh, and then that says the same verses there. What the fence? Goat versus Fish. We tried to share the verses. Very strange to Goat versus Fish. Let's see if we can find it here. Looking up the news now. Goat versus Fish. Let's check the Instagram of Goat versus Fish. We must find another way to do this. The news is getting fenced. Let's try the reposts of Goat versus Fish. Hasn't Goat versus Fish reposted a bunch of verses? Reels of Goat versus Fish. Saved verses of Goat versus Fish. Tagged verses of Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. We'll try YouTube for Goat versus Fish. Okay, we have found it. We have found the verses on YouTube. We have found the verses on YouTube. Goat and Fish, the news is coming, the news is coming. Do not despair. Do not despair. Goat versus fish, goat versus fish, goat versus fish, goat versus fish. Woke is over. Woke is over, Goat and Fish. Why, back in the verses, they used to say that comedy was illegal on Goat vs. Fish, that you couldn't mock the Goat and Fish even in playful jest. But now, Goat and Fish, woke has ended, and we have the verses to prove it. Let's have a look at this news of Goat vs. Fish. But be wary, some goat and fish might find it very offensive. Using fish species as insults. Let's watch.
Hey, do you mind cleaning a little more quietly? I'm trying to work. Oh, sure. Just so long as you don't mind not being a deep water flathead. A what? Did I stutter, mouth brooder? Or could you not hear over my tidying, little dwarf loach? I don't... See, last I checked, I clean this kitchen so thoroughly, like a big-scale pomfret, while you sit on your rockweed gunnel all day and chub sucker your delta smelt. My what? Well, don't try to kiss up now, speckled trout. Stop it! Like a convict cichlid, aren't you, Prickleback? What are these words? Because obviously, you're comfortable wahooing at me every nibble like a big-eyed square tail while you grunt sculping your comb-tooth blenny, so how about you quit wobbegonging your hog sucker in the common areas and start bristle.
We think we've heard enough. We think we've heard enough. Has the anti-woke movement gone too far with language like this now proliferating all across social media platforms? We now turn to our goat in the field, Sunshine. What do you think about this anti-fish language that is propagating all over the social media?
It seems paid for by Big Fence and Goat.
So you think that this is not simply an issue of freedom of speeches, of frozen peaches, free speech for the Goat and Fish? You think that this sort of language that is being promulgated on the social media is being backed by Big Fence?
They're just testing their monetized amendments.
So you don't think that this is just the natural discussion of someone who we presume is a goat, seeing how they are insulting a fish? Now let us ask you this. For the sake of social commentary, let us suppose that this one in the shirt that's saying all of these fish things, let us suppose that they are themselves a goat and they are using these fish insults. What would be the social ramifications of a goat hurling such divisive language about fish?
Nothing until it gets shared on social media.
Well, it is shared on social media. It's here for everyone to see. Goat vs. Fish does not know if it's proper for a goat to be using such insulting fish language. That should be reserved only for fish. Now, if we knew if this speaker, the Drew Lynch, at the Drew Lynch, was a fish, and they want to use this fish language, of course, fish should be free to use whatever sort of offensive fish language they want amongst their fellow fish. But a goat using such verses, does it make any difference to you if it's a goat using this language or if a fish is using this language?
Well, the goat appears to be using it in a derogatory manner to another goat as a joke.
Oh, you think these are two goats in conversation, not two fish?
Oh, yeah, they're two goats in conversation. If you look close enough, it's the same goat.
Oh, it's the same goat?
Yes.
Well, how can you be certain that they're not both the same fish?
Mouth in your muy bonito burrito, Pike.
They're wearing different shirts. They can't be the same goat or fish. They're completely different verses.
Hey, Big Tuna.
Wearing different shirts is what goat seems to do.
Are fish species inherently insulting? This would seem to imply to Goat vs. Fish. Where's the counter goat media? Where's the insulting goat names? Is the implication that fish have inherently insulting names, but not goat, but not goat? Goat versus fish has met plenty of offensive goat. We challenge you, the Drew Lynch. We challenge you, Drew. Goat versus fish challenges the Drew Lynch. If you really want to show that you're an equal opportunity offender, then why don't you make a video using goat breeds as insults? Goat versus fish will wait. But in the mean verses, we'll say that we have watched your content and we find you to be a bore. Very boring, very boring. It's this kind of low-tier content. Why don't you get yourself onto Killing Tony with verses like this? You call this comedy, you call this entertainment, just hurling unearned insults at goat and fish. This is lowbrow, this is lowbrow. Anti-woke has gone too far. Bring back a respectable comedic versus among goat and fish. Goat versus fish will not versus for this. Perhaps that was too much editorialization.
Hey, do you mind cleaning a little more quietly? I'm trying to work. Oh, sure. Just so long as you don't mind not being a deep water flathead.
That was too far.
Too far. This has been another news of goat versus fish. Hurling fish names as insults? What's next? Really, what's next? Do you know what's next? What happens after that? Do you think they ever clean the kitchen?
I think they clean the kitchen and they explore new words to use to drive the fish away from the unification processes.
This has been some news of goat versus fish. Are you goat or are you fish? The news continues on goat versus fish. Before we continue the news, however, let's just jump into some commentary here. Let's jump into some commentary from the congregation. Willow D says fish. Weedpipe says that's hake speech. That's hake speech. Oh, my verses. Was it really? It seemed just like a nice little ribbing. Look at the nose. Look at the nose. They've got to be the same. They've got to be the same. Oh, so you think you can determine just by their nose? That's what you think? Goat versus fish doesn't knows about that. You see, here we're looking up the nose. And here, we're looking down the nose. It's totally a different verses. Totally different verses. Totally different verses. Lysergic Freakfish says nothing. I can fix Amber Heard says Lamau. I take up the chat. I'm sorry, congregation. There's no need to apologize to Goat versus Fish. We love the communication. We absolutely love the communication. I can fix Amber Heard. Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or are you fish? Have you gotten off the fence? That would be big news indeed for Goat versus Fish. That would be big news indeed for Goat versus Fish. Wow Mom is in the verses. Eventually Gold is in the verses. Raffilm has declared goat. The Uncle Bo's declared goat. So let's get 3 more goat. Let's get 3 more goat. The Uncle Bo, Raffilm, and Wow Mom are all goat. Let's get those goat in the verses. Some of these goat may have counted twice. Some of them may have been thrice. But that is only because here during these fence times, there's a lot of accumulation. There's a lot of accumulation of fenciness. It's like we've got that backed up feeling. We might need some caffeination. There was some other fence sitter, it's true. And given that we have had fence accumulation, Goat and Fish, it's pitiably time for another Fence sitter reveal. It's time for a fence sitter reveal. What could it be? Goat? Fish? Or something else entirely? The ripple effects of the fenciness of Big Fence is causing all sorts of anomalies to occur on GoatVsFish. I Can Fix Amber Heard says it's a seal. Wants to say seal. Is I Can Fix Amber Heard trying to ruin the reveal? Or perhaps you have insider trading information that would be the envy of stonks. Secret fence sitter information. Fence sitter reveal in G V F. The seal is broken. The seal is broken. The seal is broken.
The electric fence.
By the verses Amber Heard, your VIP poster was mailed to you just yesterday verses. Here we have the Drew Loach. If you want to watch that versus, GoatVsFish links it to you. GoatVsFish links it to you. And GoatVsFish will leave a customary comment. And GoatVsFish will say, anti-woke has gone too far. We at GoatVsFish challenge you, Drew, to make a video using goat names as insults. Although maybe GoatVsFish should just do that. Because this video is a bore. And we're just going to check the spelling on that goat. We know how to spell goat. GoatVsFish knows how to spell goat, but we're just going to check. Boer. Boer. Goat. Yes, you see? You see, Goat and Fish? GoatVsFish has left the commentation. Feel free to like the commentation of GoatVsFish or to respond to the commentation. A boer. You know. A boer goat. It's a boer goat. All you need to know about boer goats. Look at that stout, meaty goat. I should spell check more often. Well, we can check our spelling right here. GoatVsFish. Hey, Sunshine, how do you spell sunshine? Sometimes there's confusion about this.
S-A-N, shine.
Goat and Fish, a shout out for Sunshine, our musication maker, once again.
Please follow me.
Please follow Sunshine. Sniped. Snipped, says Lysergic Freakfish. Well, what are you clipping? What are you snipping? What are you snipping? Celebration for Sunshine, indeed. Okay, Goat and Fish, let's keep getting into the news. But we have to make sure that this Instagram situation, we have to find a way to us not cause this Instagram confusion. What have we here? Goat and Fish. This was some big news of Goat versus Fish. This was some huge news of Goat versus Fish. Here we are. Goat versus Fish wants you to be happy. Goat versus Fish wants the fish and goat to be glad. And Goat versus Fish knows that every fence sitter can only achieve happiness and peace when you get off the fence and choose goat or fish. But some of you may say, Goat versus Fish, how can we be so certain that Goat versus Fish can make us truly happy? Here's the information. Goats prefer happy people. They can differentiate between human facial expressions and prefer to interact with happy people. It's true, a goat can help reveal unto yourself if you're happy. Goats know if you are happy. And if you are happy around goats, who's happier, Sunshine? A goat who is around their fellow goats, or a fish who has finally realized their true purpose of existence, who is versusing a goat?
I would say a goat is happiest around people, and a goat is most profitable when it's surveying fish.
When it's surveying fish, but all of this talk of profit, but what of the happiness? You say goat are happy around people, but are the people goat or fish?
The people facilitate whatever tendencies the goat needs from them, whether it's happiness or monetization.
So the goat sees happiness, it can gain joy from the people, or it can gain monetization from the people?
Or both, in the form of exploitation.
In the form of exploitation. Well, goat versus fish, we think it'd be much simpler if the goat simply just found some fish. That goat is probably happy because the goat asked, are you goat or fish, to that people, and that people declared fish, perhaps, to versus, or goat to be among its fellow goat. One versus we can say for certain is that whoever this people is, this people in the hat, this hat people, not on the fence. That hat people is definitely not a fence sitter. A fence sitter could never be so happy in the presence of a goat. A fence sitter in the presence of a goat just looks at the happiness of a goat and goes, I can't stand the happiness of goat. I can't stand the happiness of fish. I can't stand that anyone is enjoying life. And as a matter of verses, I can't stand it all because I'm on the fence and I'm sitting on the fence. The goat knows. The goat knows if you're on the fence. The goat knows if you're feeling unpleasant. Let's get into the verses. According to Science, this is an Instagram account called Science. Goat and Fish, don't worry. It has to be true. Mostly because Goat versus Fish brings it to you, and also because it's brought to you by Science. According to Science on Instagram at Science, a study led by Queen Mary University of London reveals that goats can distinguish between human facial expressions and actively prefer interacting with happy faces. Published in Royal Society Open Science, the research involved showing 20 pairs of goats, unfamiliar human faces displaying both positive and negative emotions. Positive and negative, that's another one of those verses, isn't it? If you want to study the goat, the only way to study the goat is through the use of GoatVsFish. And here we have a verses of positive and negative. We don't know which is the goat and which is the fish, but we do know that it's a verses, and if it's a true verses, then we can use true verses to reveal more about the goats. So celebration for using another verses of positive and negative, another verses that is derived from GoatVsFish in order to learn more about goats. This is science. This is big science. The goats, it continues, consistently spend more time exploring and approaching the smiling images, often using their snouts to engage with the happy photos. This discovery is significant because it suggests the ability to read human emotional cues is not exclusive to companion animals like dogs or horses. We don't know if those are goat or fish, but it may be widespread amongst various livestock species. The experiment, conducted at a sanctuary in Kent, found that the goats particularly favored happy faces when placed on the right side of the arena, indicating that they likely used the left hemisphere of their brains to process positive emotions. The ponderings were really getting into the mind of goat. Here on the GoatVsFish news, sometimes we are told that in Verse America there's a left wing and there's a right wing, there's a left hemisphere and there's a right hemisphere. Sometimes we hear that verses, sometimes we hear that there's a verses of right and wrong, so we don't know if that's right, or because it seems like if there's two rights, there's two different rights, and do two rights make a wrong? It all sounds like fenciness to me. But it seems to suggest that the left hemisphere of the goat brain is where the happiness can be found. Okay, let's look for the happiness. Goat and fish, we are now going to go inside the mind of Sunshine. Sunshine, do you consent to this invasive scientific experiment?
I consent to everything invasive, including the non-consensual parts.
Okay. So we're going to go on to goat left. We're going to examination the hemispheres of the goat mind. We're going into the goat mind and we are searching for happiness.
This is eugenics 101.
We're looking for happiness in the mind of the goat. It might be somewhere around there. Congregation, please tell us if you see any happiness. Happiness or recognition of happiness within the mind of goat? Somewhere in there? Wow, what kind of scalp treatment do you use?
Occasional conditioner, occasional, what do you call it? Anti-frizz, to keep my hair from being frizzy. I haven't used that in a while. But besides that, not much. And the occasional coconut oil.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Wait, versus? GoatVsFish thinks we know where the happiness is. Maybe it was right here all along.
Whoa.
Are you a happy goat?
I am a goat that's occasionally joyous in a predominantly happy fashion, failing which I am a content goat, which is predominantly jovial.
We think that's about as happy as we're going to get. don't say goat versus fish, why don't you smile more? Well, looking at this beautiful congregation of goat and fish gathered to watch Goat versus Fish, we've got a smile for you. Behold, the smile of Goat versus Fish. I'm so happy. Why so serious indeed? We're serious because we're covering serious news. By demonstrating that goats can perceive and prefer positive human energy, the study opens new doors for animal welfare and our understanding of their complex emotional lives of domestic animals beyond just household pets. Beyond household pets? What about fish? What about fish? Do fish prefer happy people? Do fish prefer happy goats? Are fish happier when they're versing goats or when they're around their fellow fish? Are goat and fish happier when they are in unification or when they versus? Are you happy with Goat versus Fish? Like, follow, and subscribe to Goat versus Fish. This has been some happy news of Goat versus Fish. Celebration for the happiness of goats. Celebration for the happiness of goats. Sunshine, do you prefer happy goats?
All goats are happy.
All goats are happy. What about fish?
There's room for improvement.
You heard it here on Goat versus Fish. That's the verses. Get off the fence. There's no happiness there. There's no happiness. Wow, this versus really doesn't like it when you start moving it around. There's no happiness. There's no happiness. On the fence. Sit on the fence. I choose goat and fish when I can. Feed, please feed me. Swim around, find your own ground. Time is short, but fence is long. We don't know which one is strong. The goat or fish? Guess I'll just sit on the fence. This has been some news of Goat vs. Fish with musications by Sunshine. Psychic Buckeye 12 says, "Hi guys, what did I miss? Just woke up. We were just looking at a story about how science has determined that goats can determine whether or not you're happy." That was great, says J-Sticks. That was great. We have Psychic Buckeye 12 the goat, Psychic Buckeye 12 the goat. Let's make some noise for the goat. Make some noise for the goat. And let's get your goat in the verses. Let's get your goat in the verses. That was great. Thank you, J-Sticks. Appreciation. There has been one huge news story of Goat vs. Fish. That Goat vs. Fish has had some hesitation in covering because it was such a big Goat vs. Fish news story. We needed to gather all of the information, all of the evidence before we covered it. We were thinking of doing a separate pre-recorded video addressing this critical versus, but it is such a critical versus. We think that we've avoided it for too long, and we think it's time to get into this critical versus. We think it might just be time to get into this critical versus. Eventually, Gold says, "While I want goat and fence to versus, I can understand the reason of the fence being there." Do you mean goat and fish, Eventually, Gold? I still don't want it there, but hey, it adds up, and make your contribution if you like to see your goats, fish, fence, or unifications. Eventually, Gold. We are behooved to say that you have some real wisdom there. We just are confused about while you want goat and fence to verse. We thought maybe you mean goat and fish, like this. We have a first-time chatter in the congregation. A first-time chatter who says, "Viva la vagina." And Goat vs. Fish supports that versus. Yes, of course. Never be ashamed of your parts. Viva! All parts of the goat and fish. And someone, they say here, we think they might be trying to get the goat of Goat vs. Fish. They might be trying to get the goat of Goat vs. Fish. They're saying, "Oh, I smell a girl. What is a girl doing here? Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? There's a girl here. I'm freaking out so much. Come down, come down. Take a nice deep breath, sniff, sniff. It smells so good. I love girl smell so much. It makes me feel so amazing. Tingles all over from the delicious girl scent. It's driving me girl crazy. If you're a girl and you're reading this, I just want to say hi, cute girl. Love you." Well, Goat vs. Fish has never claimed to be a girl. I am Goat vs. Fish, the goat fish, the unity and disunity of goat and fish. Sunshine, have you ever claimed to be a girl?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge? Whether you're calling yourself a girl or whatever the verse is, you are welcome here. You are welcome here with Goat vs. Fish. But whether you smell like a girl is not of particular interest to Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish wants to know, are you goat or fish? Girl, is a girl a goat or a fish? Does a girl smell like goat, or does a girl smell like fish? You're driving me fence crazy with all this indecision. Fence crazy, girl. Lucid Nap says there is no girl or boy, only goat and fish, and that's a true versus. Wow Mom says girl versus boys of false verses. We have a smart and education congregation here in Goat vs. Fish. Don't try your false verses on Goat vs. Fish. Our congregation is far too intelligent to be deceived by such erroneous propagations. Lucid Nap, are you goat or fish? Are there chicks in this verses? No, only goat and fish. Only goat and fish. So yes, there was some huge big news, and we think we have to cover it. Goat versus fish. Let Goat versus Fish not be said to be on the fence. Goat versus Fish is going to cover this news. This is big news in Goat versus Fish. This is big news in Goat versus Fish. Huge news in Goat versus Fish. The biggest news ever on Goat versus Fish. Massive, huge news on Goat versus Fish. Goat and Fish were in the news in a huge way, in a viral way. Goat and Fish, it's time for some political news on Goat vs. Fish. Okay, we're going to find the story now, and we'll just edit it and cut it so it verses together nicer. Let's see here. Yes, here we are. Please, is Instagram going fence on us now? Is Instagram going to go fence on us now? It's not going to give us the verses? It's very strange to Goat versus Fish. Blubs, we're getting summer sausage blubs. That's 3 summer sausage blubs. We'll edit around this versus Goat and Fish. We have to count the summer sausage blubs. That's 75 for Fish.
If you click the 3 verse dots on Instagram, you can save the video to your personal verses. You might have an easier time finding said. Informational news, as opposed to olds.
We think what maybe happened is that Goat versus Fish, what we do is we share. We say, oh, share this with someone else, and then we copy the share link and we put it in the Google Drive of Goat versus Fish. But then when we click upon it, it's some other verses entirely. It's very strange to Goat versus Fish.
Yeah, the 3 dots and saving the thing, pressing the save button will eliminate that fenciness.
Then Goat vs. Fish will attempt to elimination that fenciness, but do not despair. This was such big news of Goat vs. Fish. We're going to be able to find it. Goat vs. Fish will search on YouTube for this verses. We'll try this verses. We'll try Eyewitness News, ABC 7 NY. We'll try this verses. This is why it's such a critical verses that Goat versus Fish. We just want it to be such perfection. At a press conference in NYC, rising star New York Mayor Mamdani held a conference after securing funding for small little kids and guppies to go to school or maybe get childcare or something. And during that conference, the true verses of Goat versus Fish was revealed. Let's have a look at that verses. Volume up. More volume on Goat versus Fish.
Is a shark. That's honestly such a good one. Yes.
Oh, we need more amplification on
If
this.
I could
Come on, ABC7. Where's the amplification? Crank it, ABC7. Let's try that verses again. It's too silent for Goat versus Fish. We need more amplification. Oh, my verses. You try to give them the news on Goat versus Fish, and they just give you all this fenciness. You don't want to verse falsely. More amplitudification. We indeed is busy goat. Mom Donnie seems like Mom Donnie is for goat. It could be so. Let's see. Wait for it. Here's the verses. Let's try Midas Touch. They do news and stuff. Okay, Goat and Fish. We have something. We leave it to Midas Touch to give us some verses. Behold the verses of Goat vs. Fish at the Mamdani press conference. Kids tell Mayor Mamdani their favorite animals. Wait for it.
Favorite aquarium animal is a shark.
Is a shark.
That's honestly such a good one.
Yes.
Home animal is a goat.
Oh, and a goat?
Thank you all for your answer.
And a
Celebration for Goat vs. Fish! Celebration for Goat vs. Fish! At the press conference, the kids were asked their favorite farm animal and their favorite aquatic animal, because those who know to ask the true questions, even in the fence stream media, there are some who know to ask the true questions. And that is why they ask not only your favorite farm animal, but also your favorite aquatic animal as well. Because unless you get both sides of the issue, then you're not versing fairly on Goat vs. Fish. And here on Goat vs. Fish, we give you both sides of the verses. Celebration to that one who asked the question of the Mamdani kids of NYC for their favorite farm and aquatic animal. And the answer was Goat vs. Fish.
My favorite aquarium animal is a shark.
Is a shark.
That's honestly such a good one.
Yes.
Home animal is a goat.
Oh, and a goat?
Oh, and a goat. Oh, the pleasantness. Just look at the charisma on that one as they... Oh, a goat. Oh, a goat. Oh, a goat. A shark and a goat. Let's have a look at shark versus goat on Goat vs. Fish. It's the battle for America. It's fish versus goat. Versus America. Are you goat or are you fish? But it seems that there's a little more left in this video. Sunshine, are you at all surprised that Goat vs. Fish has revealed itself in this way live on national televerses here in Verse America?
Not at all. I always figured that he was all for unification. That's why I brought a shark and a goat on the podium. He knew that unification was the only way forward by bringing both a goat and the deadliest of fish on board.
Well, it was one small one who themselves said that their favorite aquatic animal was fish and that their favorite farm animal was goat. So it was but one small one who had the unification in their mind, who said both goat and fish. Let's look at that verses once more. You'll see it's the same one. First they say their favorite aquatic animal, and then they say their favorite farm animal. Let's have another listen.
My favorite aquarium animal is a shark.
Is a shark.
You hear that? Aquatic animal is a shark, and then
That's honestly such a good one.
Yes.
Home animal
farm animal.
is a goat.
Oh, and a goat?
Celebration for goat and celebration for shark. That's Goat vs. Fish. That's Goat vs. Fish. We'll tell you this, Goat and Fish. Goat vs. Fish has never seen the precedent, the so-called precedent of Verse America, have a press conference in with both Goat and Fish were mentioned so closely in the same verses. But here in NYC, the new mayor, Mamdani, they've done it. There were doubters out there. But Mamdani has brought Goat vs. Fish to NYC. And Goat vs. Fish was NYC just a verses ago. As a matter of verses, we went to the Fence Fire State Building and all kinds of things like this. But there's a bit more in this press conference, so let's have a look at what they have to say.
Thank you all for your answers.
And my favorite one is a gold snake that can move. It has gold eyes, and it has a long tail, a super duper tail, and it can snap cars and crash the cars, and those two cars can get fired.
So just to make sure I'm getting all that, that's a golden snake with gold eyes with super long, can crash cars and crash into them?
The verses were going so well until that fence sitter showed up, and notice the simplicity of the answer of Goat and Fish, of Shark and Goat. That small one, that child, had true wisdom and intelligence. The brevity of communication. Favorite aquatic animal, shark. Favorite farm animal, goat. It's easy to comprehension. It's easy to understand. They're not doing any kinds of prevarication around the issue. They don't have to over-explain any verses. You get it. It's a fish. It's a goat. It's Goat versus Fish. It's a celebration. We answer the question. Goat versus Fish. Satisfaction. Information. Celebration. And then this little fenceling comes around with their fence imagination ideas. And they come around and they have to say, oh, well, it's a snake, but it's a golden snake, and it has golden eyes, and it can destroy transportations, and it shoots lasers, and fence. Goat and Fish, this is not the confidence. This is not the confidence of someone who chooses goat or fish. This is the indecisive nature of the fence sitter trying to mimic a fraction of the power of the goat and fish by adding all kinds of strange fence magical amplifications to some sort of snakety fence station that you can't trust. You can't trust that snake. You can't trust that snake, Goat and Fish. They say, it is a snake of gold. They say, behold, it is a snake of gold. But it is a deception. There's no gold in them hills. The only gold you're going to find, the only eventually gold you're going to find is in the horn of a goat and in the gills, not in a fanciful golden snake that destroys cars and shoots lasers out of its eyes. And this is why we need universal pre-K and education for all children, because we need to educate them that a golden snake is totally the false verses here, and that really the true answer was Goat versus Fish, which was given in the first verses. Let your confidence be your guide. When you see someone over-explaining their answer, you know that there's some fenciness going on. Not like the confidence of the Goat and Fish. With that context, let's review that verses.
My favorite aquatic animal
Is a shark.
Confidence.
That's honestly such a good one.
Yes.
animal is a goat.
Oh, and a goat.
Confidence for Goat.
Thank you all for your answers.
And my favorite one is a gold snake that can move. It has gold eyes, and it has a long tail, a super duper tail, and it can snap cars and crash the cars, and those two cars can get fired.
So just to make sure I'm getting all that, that's a golden snake with gold eyes with super long, can crash cars and crash into them?
Yeah, and they get fired.
Okay, thank you for your answers.
Thank you, guys.
Get fired. It's cold. Yay!
Thank you.
And chaos erupts. And chaos erupts! Everything was going so smoothly when it was Goat and Fish, but as soon as this golden snake enters the verses, suddenly all control is lost. chaos erupts here in NYC. Mom Donnie has completely lost control. NYC is going to the fence. NYC is going to the fence. Wait. Maybe Goat versus Fish. Maybe it's a bit of an overreaction. We are certain that rising star Mom Donnie, who we don't know if they are goat or fish, we are sure they're going to bring this around. We can't let this fenciness stand. Well, actually, we have to let the fence sitter stand so they can get off the fence and choose goat or fish. But Mom Donnie, please, can we please have a clarification?
Thank you.
And Mr. Mom Donnie,
Yes.
the second question for you.
Yes, it's also the golden snake.
No, Mom Donnie! We thought we could trust you. We thought we could believe in you. We thought you were bringing a new versus to Verse America. But now you have chosen the golden snake. Mom Donnie has chosen the golden snake. All those fence-asticians are the same. You can't trust a fence-astician. Oh, they'll say goat and fish just to acquire some power over your verses. But as soon as they gain just a little taste of the true verses of goat versus fish, they reveal their true fancy nature. Mom Donnie is a snake. Mom Donnie is a golden snake who wants to destroy your cars with lasers and replace them with public transportation! That should frighten each and every one of you. New York is being run by a snake! You're a snake, Mom Donnie! You're a snake, Mom Donnie! You said it yourself! Mom Donnie! Goat versus fish. Wanted to believe in you. We did. But with verses like this, no honest goat versus fish can just wait idly by and watch you send the nation into disarray. Mayor Mom Donnie, are you goat or are you fish? Please reply to goat versus fish. Once more, all the way through, just for the verses.
My favorite aquarium animal is a shark.
Is a shark.
That's honestly such a good one.
Yes.
Home animal is a goat.
Oh, and a goat?
Thank you all for your answers.
And my favorite one is a gold snake that can move and it has gold eyes. And it has a long
Shut
tail,
up, kid.
a super duper tail, and it can snap cars and crash the cars and those two cars together.
Even the other children are just laughing at the offensivelessness of all this. Sunshine, do you have any hope for the future of Verse America? When on one verses, you have children who are clearly, with the wisdom of goat versus fish, championing the cause of our favorite goat and fish, but on the other, we have these children who clearly have their minds being addled by all kinds of fence imaginations. And what do you think? Do we see any future for Verse America in these children?
I see a future where the gold snake kid goes to Dubai and finds a gold snake, and it's up to Mom Donnie, the shark and the goat, to stop the kid from attaining the golden snake, which would in turn be blasphemous to the true verses.
That sounds like an amazing thriller. We should probably turn that into some cinema. They say art imitates life. They say goat imitates fish. And there you have it. Some say that Goat vs. Fish is just a funny thing that you can see at the Comedy Store Los Angeles, or that was rejected on America's Got Talent and killed Tony and is part of the worst band in the universe, Green Jellÿ. Some say that Goat vs. Fish is just a white hat troll that lurks in the Deep Fat Fried podcast. Some say that Goat vs. Fish is a musician maker with a song on Spotify and a morning motivational live stream every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Some say Goat vs. Fish is in collaboration with the Radioactive Chicken Heads. Some say that Goat vs. Fish debated presidential candidate Vermin Supreme. But now Goat vs. Fish is here to tell you that Goat vs. Fish is all of these things and more. You think it's some coincidence that Goat vs. Fish has been rising in the YouTube statistics? You think it's some coincidence that Goat vs. Fish gets more and more popular with each passing verses? It's because it is Goat vs. Fish. It has always been Goat vs. Fish. And if you simply look about you, you will find Goat vs. Fish all around you, and with a resounding verses. There, at that press conference in NYC with Mayor Mamdani, we saw Goat vs. Fish, not through the veil of the fence, not needing any extra special commentation and explanation. Yes, we give it to you here because you have sought Goat vs. Fish. We give you the perspective on Goat vs. Fish. But any casual viewer of the news would have heard Goat, would have heard Fish, and would have wasted a lot of time hearing about some kind of golden snake fence sitter that really should choose Goat or Fish, This has been Mamdani News with Goat vs. Fish. Zoran, we await your reply. And we are prepared to debate you at any verses. In conclusion, Goat vs. Fish wishes to say celebration for education. And we do appreciation care. We do appreciation care for all of the small ones. And if you want free care, Goat vs. Fish gives the care to you freely. Goat vs. Fish cares about each and every one of you, even you snakedly golden fence child. And you too, Shark and Goat. This has been some political news of Goat vs. Fish. Celebration! Well, we think that went rather well. That was the big news. That was the really, really big news in Goat vs. Fish. Huge Goat vs. Fish news. Goat vs. Fish posts the link to the YouTube in the verses. Big Rig 250 says Goat. Big Rig 250 says Goat. Celebration for Goat. Celebration for Goat. Celebration for Goat. What is happening right now, says Big Rig. Eventually Gold says, how do the Goat and Fish just instantly lose recognition by Zoran, Mo Money, the fence sitters? BBDH1875 says, fence is what to expect from any U.S. politician. Eventually Gold says, clip that. Oh, for fence sake. Lucid Nap says, that child is an agent of the fence. Eventually Gold says, the fence stands but barely hanging. Mikhail Gorbachev, Disney Busy says, Goat vs. Fish versus Golden Snake. No. It was going so well. It was really going so well. Let's get Big Rig the Goat in the verses. Big Rig Goat! Goat and Fish with the 30 versus American dollar contribution from Eventually Gold. We now have a combined versus and some blubbing from Summer Sausage. We now have a combined versus let's see, Goat vs. Fish here. 60,000, 69, 6980, 6980, 6980 calculation, 8980, 8980, 8980. 9,650. Goat vs. Fish believes the combined versus is 9,650, which means if that calculation is a true versus, we need Goat vs. Fish 20 versus American 2350 for Goat vs. Fish. We think we might need another 23 versus American dollars and 50 cents to be able to take down Big Fence. whether through bits or tips or subscriptions or whatever the verse is. We believe that is the calculation. We can do a proper calculation. We'll get stonks right on it, but we're getting closer, Goat and Fish. We're getting closer to taking down Big Fence. It has been nearly 2 hours of Goat versus Fish. You've got some news of Goat versus Fish, but we think that we've been playing some nice musications together. Why don't Goat versus Fish get the guitar of Goat versus Fish, and let's finish off with a song or two of Goat versus Fish. Celebration! As Goat versus Fish does our guitar preparation, we give you Musications by Sunshine. Exclamation son. Did you have a late verses?
Pretty late.
Pretty late, yeah. How's your motivation levels this Goat versus Fish morning motivational?
It started high. It's still medium high.
Medium high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just sleepiness.
Sleepy verses. Let's see, Goat and Fish. Goat versus Fish. Well, let's start off with the verses that you were referencing earlier from Goat versus Fish. Let's do Fish by Fish, Goat by Goat. Let's do Fish by Fish, Goat by Goat. Bud Morgan, welcome to Goat versus Fish. We'll do a little Fish by Fish, Goat by Goat to start off our morning motivations. Nightmares 3666, welcome to Goat versus Fish. Lysergic Freak Fish!
Lysergic Freak Fish contribution $23.51. In the fence. Fish now and forever.
2351 from Lysergic Freak Fish! Lysergic Freak Fish, we want to be clear. Is that 2351 for the unification or is it for the fish? Because we're going to have a poll and we're going to have to determine in this power struggle if the Goat and Fish unify with your 2351. It's for fish. It's for fish. It's for fish. That's 2351 for fish. Goat and Fish, we may be witnessing a glorious unification coming up on Goat versus Fish, or maybe the Goat and Fish won't be able to get it together to take down the fence. Lysergic Freak Fish, can you do us an honor of running the calculation? 3,920 plus 3,060 plus 5,021. and let us know if we have achieved enough to take down Big Fence, if only we come together. Goat and fish, if only we come together in the congregation. Fish by fish, goat by goat, gonna make this verses grow. All it takes is a fish and a goat and a place to ask around. Are you fish or are you goat? Fence sitters say they don't know. So we ask you, are you fish or a goat, till the fence comes crumbling down. Fish by fish, goat by goat, gonna make this verses grow. All it takes is a fish and a goat and a place to ask around. Are you fish or are you goat? Fence sitters say they don't know. So we ask you, are you fish or a goat, till the fence comes crumbling down. Sunshine, take it away. Stage by stage, hall by hall, gonna get my name on the Comedy Store wall. If Andy Kaufman can, so can y'all. Yeah, there is no stopping us now. Are you fish or are you goat? Ask somebody that you know. Are you fish or are you a goat, till the fence comes crumbling down? Till the fence comes crumbling down. That was Fish by Fish, Goat by Goat. Sunshine. It's a very simple tune, but you seem to enjoy it.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun to play over.
It's a lot of fun to play over, and we can play it over and over again. Let's do a double verses. I Can Fix Amber Heard says, wait, I donated $1 to Fence earlier today. Check the Streamlabs. Oh, my verses. Big Fence is saying, no, there was one more verse, American dollar. And now Viva la Vagine is back, who's asking us to make a comparison between Shane or Ilya, and we don't know. Is this, what verses is this? What are these creatures? It sounds like Romanoff. You're saying to goat versus fish. It sounds like you're kind of saying this. Are you goat or fish, a goat or fish, a goat or a fish? Are you goat or fish, a goat or fish, a goat or a fish? Are you goat or fish, a goat or fish, a goat or a fish? Are you goat or fish, a goat or fish, a goat or a fish? Into the sea of the fish and back to the G of the goat. Are you goat or a fish? Are you goat or a fish? We heard the big fish. We heard the big fish. We heard the big fish. Lysergic freak fish. Are fish for fish. You goat or fish? Goat versus fish. It's actually the same verses. It's actually a very similar verses to. It's 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 a very similar verses to. So Versi together. It's a similar verses because it's Are you go Dora fish? Are you go Dora fish? Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Are you go to fish? Go to fish? Go Dora fish. Are you go to fish? Go to fish? Go Dora fish. Are you go to fish? Go to fish? Go Dora fish. Are you go to fish? Go to fish? Go Dora fish. What if I'm spiritually a horse? What if I'm spiritually a horse? What if you're spiritually horse? What if you are spiritually horse? You said it to Goat versus Fish. Are you go to fish? Go to fish? Go Dora fish. Are you go to fish? Go to fish? Go Dora fish. Are you go to fish? Go to fish? Go Dora fish. Are you go to fish? Go to fish? Go Dora fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Lysergic freak fish with big fish for 100 bits, with big fish for 100 bits to counter the fenciness, to counter the fenciness of I Can Fix Amber Heard. It's a counterfish operation. Counterfish operation. Sunshine, sunshine. Well, Big Fence is down there. Big Fence is not down yet. Big Fence is not down yet. Sunshine, how are you doing on time? How are you doing on time this versus? We have been streaming for 2 hours and 8 minutes. You've done your services, Sunshine. You've done your services. How are you? Are you on time now?
I can do maximum 10 minutes.
Maximum 10 minutes of Goat versus Fish. Well, Goat and Fish. This is an interesting versus because we want to take down Big Fence. We could have a big stream tomorrow that's just all about taking down Big Fence, because here's what needs to happen now, Goat and Fish. Goat versus Fish, we have to run a calculation where we take all of these verses and we find out what percentage each one is of each other verses, and then we run a poll, and then if Fish outperforms the unification, then it means that unification was not achieved because the fish wanted to maintain dominance. We could do a simple poll for Goat, Fish, or unification, and if unification triumphs, then we have achieved unification on Goat versus Fish. But if the Goat or the Fish would prefer to try to defeat Big Fence alone, then they can vote for Goat or for Fish, and not for the unity of Goat and for Fish. It would be a simpler versus that way. We think they deserve versus. We think you deserve versus, a chance to take down Big Fence right here, right now. So we could make it a more complication type calculation, but really we are going to leave it up to the congregation now. Now, if Goat or Fish or unification itself already had 121 versus American dollars, then they could just down with the fence. There would be no need for a vote. But Goat and Fish, we are going to need to hold a vote about this versus.
I think this is a marathon, not a sprint. It'll take some time before we take down the fence with 121 versus American dollars.
Summer sausage, that shark isn't looking like it wants to unify at all. That shark is looking like it wants to verse some goats. Shark is looking like we want to verse some goats. Timing for Fish. Accounting with stonks tomorrow or something? Well, it is true. We could leave it to a big versus of calculation. It could be a whole stratagem to take down Big Fence. But here's the versus. Eventually, gold and lysergic freakfish made contributions to take down Big Fence. Now, of course, we made it very clear that there would need to be a poll or some kind of calculation that would need to take place. Appreciation. Summer sausage with 1,000 bits for fish! Summer sausage with 1,000 bits for fish! Yes, let's do this. Let's do A to B flat riff, which we see you have been learning. So let's do it together. Summer sausage with 1,000 bits! So because we have 10 hits, we have summer sausage with 1,000 bits, we do 10 hits, but one hit is... That's one hit. So, 10 hits for summer sausage! 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. So now we'll do that versus. We'll do 10 hits again. We'll do 10 hits again, but this time we want you to do wacky flaming solos over that riff. Just does that make verses?
Yeah. Let me see to the start.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to make some verses. 10 hits. We're just going to keep going. Riff away. Summer sausage with a shark and 1,000 bits for the fish! Huge verses! As we contemplation, how exactly to take down Big Fence. The fence is burning behind us. Oh, my versus the fence. The fence is burning behind Goat versus Fish.
I don't know if this is something that can happen in one day. It might be a marathon. It might be a whole revolution.
Well, sometimes I go, then again I think I fish. Sometimes I fish, then again I think I go. Sometimes I burst, then again I think I fence. When I looked at the verses, it was gold versus fish. And I thought that I would versus again. It was gold versus fish. It was gold, it was fish, it was fish until the break of the fence. Oh, you go to fish. Sunshine here, the voice of moderation, as the fence literally burns behind us. 100 bits Psychic Puck I-12 with 100 bits for Goat. Celebration for Goat! Let's get one glorious hit for Goat, and... we'll take it. 100 bits for Goat. Celebration for Goat!
Hey. Dot.
Wait a verses. Wait just a verses. Wait just a verses. Summer sausage with 1,062 bits for fish. 1,062 bits for the fish! That's 10 more hits for the fish! And goat versus fish. Ones, twos, threes, fours, fives, sixes, sevens, eights, nines, tens, and a bit of 62. Summer sausage with the big fish energy, 1,062. Lysergic freak fish. Goat versus fish has a confession. When you donationed your 23 versus American dollars to Goat versus fish, it was a big versus. It was a big contribution to Goat versus fish, and you said it was for fish. And Goat versus fish was so excited that we might be bringing down Big Fence. Did we add your fish contribution to the goat score? Can we review the tape? That 2351. We're imagining Goat versus fish up there at the verses, making our calculation and adding 2351, and we are asking ourselves, did we add it to the fish or did we add it to the goat? Can we review that verses? Because now we've got a big verses happening. 5,222 for fish, 5,221 for goat. But oh my verses, did Goat versus fish add the lysergic freak fish contribution to the goat verses instead of to the fish? I Can Fix Amber Heard. We can't trust the verses that I Can Fix Amber Heard is saying to Goat versus fish. You're part of Big Fence. Lysergic freak fish says I don't have that knowledge. Goat and fish, we have to review the tape. We have to review the tape. We have to review the verses. Goat versus fish will have to review the verses of Goat versus fish. We only have a few more minutes at Sunshine. Goat versus fish. Sunshine has already given us all their time. They said 10 more minutes from Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. We must honor that versus. We must honor that versus. Goat and fish.
I give it 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes for Goat versus fish. Yeah. 5 more verses. It's Sunshine. Make some noise for Sunshine. 5 more minutes from Sunshine. Would it be fair to say that the congregation is making you feel extra inspired this versus?
Yeah.
Remember when you sit down?
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Gotcha. Yeah.
Don't sit on the fence.
If the goats wear scuba gear. Ooh, scuba gear. That's another one to think about.
Goat and fish. Okay, listen, we have to review the verses. We have to review the verses. There's Mom Donnie. Oh, Goat versus fish.
You think Mom Donnie can help us take down Big Fence?
Do you think so? Not if they're going to be a golden snake about it. For those of you who missed it, here was the big news.
My favorite aquarium animal is a shark.
Is a shark.
That's honestly such a good one.
Yes.
Home animal is a goat.
Oh, and a goat.
Thank you.
Celebration for a goat and for a fish. And don't worry about what happens after that. It's not really important. But if you really want to know about Big Fence, then you can watch the verses of Goat versus Fish. You can watch the whole verses. But Goat versus Fish is now, we're going to go to youtube.com/GoatVsFish. And Goat versus Fish is going to go to the live streams of Goat versus Fish. And we are going to start watching the verses, and we're going to rewind the verses, and we're going to look the whole verses for that. But Goat versus Fish is now, it's a little verception. We're going to look for that verses where Goat versus Fish. We're going to look for that verses where Lysergic Freak Fish made the donation to Goat versus Fish, and then we're going to see if Goat versus Fish added it to the goat or to the fish. So let's see. Let's scrub. Let's scrub around. Let's try. It probably was about 10 minutes ago. Let's see here. So this was 10. This was 10. But 10 was for summer sausage, so that was before that versus. Oh, we can check. We can check the scores now. We can check the scores now. Oh, we think we added it to goat. Calculation. We think we added it to goat. For goat, fish. We think we added it to. We think we added the fish donation to goat. We have to reverse the verses. GVF, let's blame the fence. Blame big fence. Blame big fence. We thought we had the verses. We thought we had the. We thought we had the calculation. We thought we had the calculation. But then we thought we had the calculation. But then in comes I Can Fix Amber Heard and says, "Oh no, but I put $1 more on fence. I put $1 more on fence." Okay, go to fish. We have to reverse the verses. We have to reverse the verses here. What this means, goat might be disappointed in this, but we now need to take. We now need to take the contribution. We now need to take the contribution of Lysergic, which was a whopping 23.51, and we need to subtract it from goat, and we need to add it to fish. It was a catch. So if we can just get some light. Oh, you're right there. Oh, what has happened? Ah, the power pack, the power of the wireless monitoring system of Goat versus Fish. It's been lost. The stream is falling apart. Goat and Fish. The fence is trying to tear us apart, but that's okay. 23.51. We have to subtract 23.51 from this verses, and we need to add it to the other verses. So first we're going to add. First we're going to add the verses. We're going to add 23.51 to Fish. 23.51. That would make Goat versus Fish 23.51. So 73. 73. 73. 73. 73. And now we need 23. And now we need 23. So 75. 75. 75. This is a huge swing. 75, 73 for Fish, and now we need to subtract 23.51 from the Goat. We'll take away the 1. Take away the 1. That's a simple versus. So now we need to do 23.50 away from Goat. Away from Goat. Let's take away the 50. Let's take away the 50. We've taken away 20. We need to take away another 30. So 170, 170, 5170. 5170, that takes care of the 50. Now 300, now 300 away. Let's take the 2,000 away first. 3,000. 3,170. And then 300, and then 300. Wow, if someone's making a donation, we wouldn't even be able to hear it because the monitoring system of Goat versus Fish has gone fence. 2,000, so do 100 to 3,000, 2,800. 2,870 for Goat. 2,870 for Goat. Well, when you look at the verses like this, then suddenly uneven verses of unification suddenly doesn't seem so appealing to Fish anymore. Fish might be saying, hey, we could take down Big Fence all by ourselves, leave the Goat out of the equation. Imagine coming out of Big Fence with a triumph for Fish. Not even a unification. But what about the Goat? Goat can say, Goat, we've had enough of this fenciness. There are more points in unification than for Goat. There's the verses. We have achieved monitoring again. So we think that Sunshine, with all this confusion and excitement, Goat and Fish, Sunshine has to go. We have to respect the Sunshine. And Sunshine, you are a very valuable and contributing member of the live stream of Goat versus Fish. You say that this resolution of whether or not the goat and fish unify to take down Big Fence should be the big verses for tomorrow's living stream. This is what you say.
It is, yeah, and this looks like it's going to be a marathon because 121 versus American dollars is no small feat. So it's something good to work towards. And
well, they have achieved it in combination. They have achieved it.
Oh, what?
If you add the bits for unification, goat, and for fish all together, they have exceeded 121. That's what's happening here on Goat versus Fish.
Oh, wasn't that supposed to be for goat and fish?
Well, this is for fish.
Yeah.
That's for goat, and this was contribution to unification. So if the goat and fish agree in unification to combine their verses, they can take down Big Fence only in unification. However, the fish or the goat could say, no, we reject unification. We as fish, we are outspending the goat. And actually, as fish, we want to consolidate fish power under the fenciness. And we are going to take down Big Fence as fish without the help of goat. You see, or they could combine for unification.
So you could put it to a poll. Have a poll and see.
Have a poll right here, right now, to see if they accept unification or if the versus continues?
Yeah, if they accept unifying the...
All right, look, I've clearly gotten very popular on the stream of Goat versus Fish. I will soon be increasing my appearance fee. Thank you! That was Baby Shark. Baby Shark is letting it get to their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tying my purse and hands at this point. It's up to the congregation. Some are sausage with another 25 for fish. But with fish outperforming the goat. So if the fish want to prevent unification. So perhaps the poll could just be unification or versus.
Yeah.
Does the verses continue, or do we accept unification? And of course, if the verses continue, however, then really, it's the fence. It's the fence that is going to happen, because really we want to achieve verses again. We're not having a proper verses. Of course, it's always goat versus fish. We're not having a proper versus while this fence is still here. And then in the poll, do we also add a fence option in the poll? So the fence sitter tries to outvote the unification. They can even outvote if they say, no, it's still fence.
I mean, why not have a poll?
Why not have a poll?
Yeah.
So are we going simple majority versus?
I guess,
There's so many ways that we can do goat versus fish here.
I guess simply put, have the fish decide whether to take the fence down.
Have the fish decide, but it's not like goat is doing nothing. Goat is making a contribution, and there's also verses for unification. Fish can't do it alone. That's the verses here. Fish cannot do it alone.
Oh.
If fish had 121, they could simply take down the fence by themselves without the help of the goat, without the help of the unification. They could simply say triumph for fish. There would be no need for a poll at that versus, because fish have achieved domination, but fish cannot do it alone. Fish may say, we will not unify with goat to spite the goat. We're going to leave the fence. We're not going to accept unification, and we are going to take down the fence ourselves and have all the glory for fish.
What if the fish want to take it down but still be versus?
Oh, well, of course, if the fish take down the fence, and well, it would be a triumph for fish. You're saying if the fish want to take down the fence but not claim triumph?
No, they want to take down the fence, but they still want to be versus, so they can't unify.
Goat versus fish. So you're saying that we have, goat versus fish. Well, okay, that's a versus. That's an interesting versus. However, in order for that to be achieved, then the combined points of goat and fish alone would have to exceed that of Big Fence. Because then you would have enough verses just between goat and fish to take down Big Fence. However, if you combine the verses of goat and fish, it is not enough to take down Big Fence. They need the help of this, which was donation specifically for the verses of unification. So Goat and Fish do not have enough to take down Big Fence with versus alone. They can only do it with unification.
So have them vote as to whether unify or whether to stay versus.
Whether to unify or whether whether the versus continues. Well, understanding that the versus right now is being fenced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whether to fence or to unify.
To unify. So is the poll unification or fence?
Unification or to stay the way we are right now.
Well, that would be fancy.
Yeah.
That would be fancy. So that would mean that a fish would have to vote for. Well, we don't want to force a fish or a goat to vote for the fence. That would be totally offensive. So we could have a poll that is goat, fish, unification, fence. If fish wins the poll, then it simply continues as it is, and fish can just be like, we're asserting that we will not accept the fish have denied unification. If the goat win the poll, the goat have denied the unification. If unification wins the poll, then we have taken down Big Fence. Goat and fish have achieved unification. And of course, if fence wins the poll, then something has gone horribly, horribly wrong on goat versus fish.
That sounds good. Let's do it.
Let's do the verses. I Can Fix Amber Heard says, wait till tomorrow for the final showdown. I'm putting so much channel points into this. We can't let Big Fence determine what we do with our verses here.
Ooh.
We can't let Big Fence determine our verses here.
Also, I do have to go. So
well, that's
you want to do
Sunshine.
the poll?
Out of respect for Sunshine, we could do the poll, but we would want the poll to last several minutes. It would be at least a 5 to 10 minute affair,
Sure.
and then okay,
Let's do it then. Yeah.
Okay. Forced voting is a big part of democracy, says Canada Rami. Okay, Goat and Fish. Okay, Goat and Fish. We are going to do a poll now. We are going to do a poll here on Goat versus Fish. We're going to do a poll here on Goat versus Fish. And it's going to be on Twitch. It's going to be a Twitch poll. While we appreciation our YouTube viewers, considering there are but 2 of you at this versus, this is going to be a Twitch poll. And you are of course welcome. Fitzcraft, welcome back to Goat vs. Fish. Fitzcraft, you have entered at a huge versus. This is very, very exciting for Goat vs. Fish. Manage goal. Manage poll. New poll. New poll. Summer Sausage, appreciation of critical verses. So the poll is going to be unification. Take down Big Fence. Unification, take down Big Fence. And the answers are going to be unification. Goat, reject, unification. Fish, reject, unification. And then we just have Big Fence. Who wants that? And now the versus becomes, as we say, additional complications. Sunshine, we consult you on this versus again. Channel points, as you know, being a Twitch streamer yourself, follow it, Sunshine. Goat and Fish who view Goat vs. Fish a lot accrue channel points. It costs them nothing. They simply accrue it by watching Goat vs. Fish. We could allow additional votes for channel points, so longtime viewers could have bonus votes in this versus to determine its outcome. And if we allow that, we could make the amount of points it takes to have their additional votes anywhere from 1 channel point to as many thousands as we wish. Shall we allow additional votes, bonus votes, or should this just be 1 Goat and Fish in the congregation, 1 vote, and that's the verses?
Bonus votes.
Bonus votes. How pricey should these bonus votes be? If the bonus votes are 100, we're going to be getting like tons of bonus votes. If it's 1,000, we'll still be getting lots of bonus votes. If we make it 10,000, then really only the long viewing Goat and Fish will be able to get votes. But someone like Lysergic Freakfish could have hundreds of thousands of channel points by this versus. They would be able to carry a lot of verses. Longtime viewers of Goat vs. Fish would be able to carry a lot of verses. So how many verses per bonus vote?
Let's do 1,000. Keep it accessible.
1,000 accessible verses for 1,000. 5-minute poll.
Sure.
Unification to take down Big Fence. If Unification wins the poll, we've taken down Big Fence. Goat or Fish may reject Unification. A vote for Goat or Fish rejects Unification, and of course there's Big Fence. The poll begins now. The poll begins now. The poll begins now. The poll begins now. Unification to take down Big Fence. Goat and Fish, you versed very hard. You versed very hard with 3,920 in contribution. To Unification, 2,870 for Goat and 7,673 for Fish. The Goat and Fish and Unification together have achieved enough power to take down I Can Fix Amber Heard's Big Fence. However, if in this poll, Unification does not win the verses, if Unification does not win the verses, then we will remain in a fancy situation, and Unification, we need at least 50% of the vote, 50.00001% of the vote to go to Unification. This is not a plurality situation. Unification has to win the verses. Unification has to outright win this versus, Goat and Fish. So every vote for Goat, every vote for Fish is lowering Unification percentage point. Every vote for Big Fence is lowering Unification percentage points. Unification is currently leading the verses with 12 votes, 60%. This is enough to take down Big Fence. This is enough to take down Big Fence. We can see the Unification creeping behind the fence. Look at this glorious poll. Look at this glorious imagery on Goat versus Fish. We have Goat versus Fish. We have sunshine. We've got the Big Fence, and behind the Big Fence, you can see Goat versus Fish and the Unification just peering through, trying to achieve. We're in a state of versus, Goat and Fish. We're in a state of versus, and we seem to have reached some sort of equilibrium. But those who have been on Goat versus Fish know that final last versus votes can happen at any time, So if you want to secure your verses, then you'd best throw your channel points down right here, right now, or message someone you know to get into the congregation and vote. Let's go. We've got Grumble Stiltskin, who says Fish intensifies. Canada Rami says tear down the fences. Kit Tardwell says build that fence higher. The fence sitters are coming out to support the fence. Kit Tardwell. Grumble Stiltskin says remember to fish that like button versus. Eventually Gold says the 2 extra votes on each lol. Me and Amber. Canada Rami says vote with a thumb. Kit Tardwell says they're goats, they don't even swim. We remain in stasis here. We've got Unification with 12. We've got Goat reject Unification with 1. We've got Fish reject Unification with 1. We got Big Fence. Dizzy Be Busy says we must Unification. If you want your Unification, spend those channel points. It takes 1,000 per vote. You would be surprised. Big Fence could be lurking around the verses. Big Fence could be ready to spend those channel points at the last verses just when you think Unification has been secured. Fish reject Unification. Another vote. Fish are rejecting the Unification. 5 votes for Unification rejection. Fish Fish now with 19% of the vote. Big Fence with 21%. Unification is just holding on to a versus with 15, 55 now. More support going to Unification. 55% for Unification. Fish. Goat, remember this versus. Fish is rejecting the Unification. Fish with 10 votes. Unification now with 53% of the vote. Unification is holding on by a deer versus a Big Fence with 6 votes. 17% going to Big Fence and Goat. 3% has gone to Goat. We have mere minutes. We have a mere minute left in the verses. A mere minute left in the verses. It could go Goat. It could go Fish. Unification now with 54%. 54% for Unification. Seconds remain on Goat versus Fish. How many? It's insane. Will Fish reject the Unification? Will Big Fence be taken down? 54%. 10 seconds practically remain in the poll of Goat versus Fish. The versus. Unification! Big Fence is down! The Big Fence is down, Goat and Fish! The Goat and Fish have come together. The Goat and Fish have come together to take down Big Fence! The Goat and Fish have come together to take down Big Fence! Down with the fence! Down with the fence! Down with the fence! Unification! Lysergic Freakfish with a gifted versus to Grumble Skin Appreciation! Yes, that's the versus, Sunshine. Yes, that's the versus. Looking at the breakdown, we can see. Looking at the breakdown, we can see 1 vote for Goat rejection. Big Fence, I Can Fix Amberheard with 4,000 channel points for Big Fence. Fish rejection. Summer Sausage with 9,000 channel points for rejection. Summer Sausage was not wanting to have that unification. Not with those goats. But Unification, 5 voters, 20 votes. Fitzcraft with 7,000. Dizzy Be Busy with 6,000. Eventually Gold with 1,000. Lysergic Freakfish with 1,000. 54%. Taking down Big Fence by the power of Unification. This has been your Goat vs. Fish morning motivational. On the next verses, guess what we're going to do next verses? It's going to be a big unification celebration. Remember how we had a whole verses that was all in dedication to Wow Mom? It was the Wow Mom appreciation verses. Next verses on Goat vs. Fish Thursday. Next Goat vs. Fish morning motivation. The fence is coming down. And it's all unification celebration, all the verses. Next time on Goat vs. Fish. We'll see you on the next verses of Goat vs. Fish. Sunshine has given us ample time, and appreciation Goat vs. Fish, appreciation to our patrons, our humble congregation, Wow Mom, Mama Joe, Rama Joe, Sourdough, Ben, Bird Person, Napoleon, Doom, Prue, Lawrence, Drew, John, Watts, 9807, That One Bull Guy, Patistender, Tugger, Rugger, Standard Average, Jimmy Wrench, Eldergrown, Eventually Gold, Atro, Hogrim, The Quacksley, Druber Kitten, and I Can Fix Amber Curd. I Can Fix Amber Heard says, this was sabotaged and rigged. This created a bigger fence. I will get my just desserts. If you wish to become a patron of Goat vs. Fish, then become a patron of Goat vs. Fish at the Patreon link. Appreciation. And now, we say farewell to YouTube. YouTube, it's been a glorious versus, appreciation and celebration. We brought down Big Fence. We'll see you for the celebration. On next Goat vs. Fish Morning Motivation. This is Goat vs. Fish and music by Sunshine.
Celebration.
YouTube stream end in G.